We began the day shopping at various grocery stores around Reykjavik with our new friend Vigdis, a fellow vegan who could read Icelandic and tell us which chocolate bars were safe and which weren't, which vegan items were safe and which things were not vegan, and in general introduce us to those things we could find in and around Reykjavik and indeed all over Iceland that were safe for us to eat. Afterward, we took her out to lunch. Directly thereafter, we visited the Icelandic Phallological Society Museum. And you must understand that while there were many condoms and wooden carvings of penises and so forth that were interesting to us, most of the museum is comprised of the phalluses of dead animals, and most of those animals have been slaughtered. So we went in and, as vegans, were heartbroken completely and sickened. This is why, even though we took photographs at the Icelandic Phallological Society, you're not going to see them because we went into the museum, looked around, were crestfallen, and left. Afterward, we went to Þingvellir. My apologies to any Icelanders who heard me pronounce that. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the site of the first parliament in Europe. It's over 1,000 years old and it's absolutely stunning. Now, geologically, it sits on the conjunction between two tectonic plates, the tectonic plate for North America and the tectonic plate for Europe. So it's a wonderful place for a parliament. It's where two tectonic plates meet. And besides being the site of Europe's first parliament and this meeting place of two tectonic plates, it's physically one of the most astonishingly beautiful places I've ever seen. It was also the first encounter Sean and I had with the Icelanders' care for their natural environment. There were walkways for us to go up and down, fairly well delineated paths and places where we were asked not to walk because the mosses were fragile or because the grasses were fragile. So we were guided along pathways where we could enjoy the natural environment and enjoy this World Heritage Site. But we were also asked to help protect this beautiful place so that it could last beyond us. And I thought that was really wonderful, and I continue to be impressed by the way Icelandic people care for their natural environment. Now, I should mention that while Þingvellir, and again, I'm really sorry, Icelanders, for that, one day I'll get it right, is the site of the oldest parliament in Europe, we found out later that there was actually a parliament that preceded that, a much smaller one, and we saw the site for that on our last day in Iceland. Now, that initial parliament, and it is delineated by a marker at the park we were taken to outside Reykjavik, that parliament would surely have been pagan. And this parliament would have been pagan for about 60 to 100 years until Iceland adopted Christianity in the year 1000. In all, it was an astonishingly beautiful place that struck us both as sacred and a wonderful first experience with Icelandic nature. We loved it, and I can't wait to go see it again.